then, when we use a picotick to make this piston fire the redstone block down through this other piston, we are able to power it multiple times every single game ticks. So the clock kind of spazzes out, and then I destroy it.
Welcome back. Today, Max and I are gonna show you how we figured out Picoticks, the fastest ticking method in the entire game. And we think it will revolutionize redstone forever. And so, yeah, Max, please show.
Okay, so this double piston extender with a fold would usually take 0.3 seconds to get the block from here to here, because while the piston retracts, it takes 0.15 seconds, and we cannot move that piston while it's retracting a block. What we did was we used some advanced redstone dust update order, and what we managed to figure out was that if we instantly update the piston to start extending as soon as the redstone dust turns on, instead of as soon as all the redstone dust has been updated, we can fire a block to a piston and back much, much faster than zero ticks or microticks. And what that would mean is that the piston will actually skip the animation of retracting, while it doesn't look like it. It actually retracts the block instantly, and this is messed up by Minecraft animations. But if you show this double piston extender right here, Matt, can you show the double piston extender?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
You can see how the block right here is actually retracted by that piston. And in the same tick, we can also retract this piston out of the way. And so, before we move on to the 3x3, we're gonna show off this tiny semi-picotick generator. It isn't the full picotick, but it almost works.
Yeah. Okay, so if I activate the thing, you can see that it looks kind of normal, to be honest. But if we slow down the game, like slow it like really down, you can see that in the extension it's just normal. But then you see the second one pushes both of them instantly. So that's what we call a picotick. That's the concept we use in the 3x3. And it uses very advanced things. I can see some minecarts here and some furnace
Yeah.
minecarts. I'll maybe explain it later why they are here.
So another thing that you might notice is that instead of the sand looking like it, let me turn this off. This is loud. Instead of the sand looking like it's moving up and then being pushed back down by the piston, it actually looks like the sand is being pushed down by an invisible force that is right here, which isn't actually the case. There's no invisible force. But if you watch it in slow motion, it looks like the sand actually moves down, and then the glass goes through the piston. That's another side effect of having picoticks in your doors.
It is the fastest ever. You cannot make it faster. It's actually instant closing. It might lag a bit, the server lag. So if we can test it here, instant closing, but everyone knows that. But now the interesting thing about it, it's 0.15 opening, and it uses almost all picoticks. So if you can oh, if
As you can see,
slow
it
down
has
the
literally
game a bit.
no reset on the closing. It is really, really nice. So if you do watch this, you'll see that the pistons actually all go away in the same tick.
So the animations are a bit messed up because Minecraft doesn't like picoticks.
Yeah, but I mean, we already kind of showed that in that one over there. So yeah.
Um, so I'm gonna make like a basic explanation of how this works. We have the magenta circuit, which is just a giant ever, a picotick ever to be exact, and it looks kind of weird because it is. It uses very advanced and does update order, if you can see,
And
and
what we had to do is, because if you did notice in that picotick generator right here, the way this thing works is the first time that when it fires this one back down, it actually instantly retracts this piston and fires this one out, which makes it look like that one fired them out together. So we actually have to filter it out, which is what these monostables here are for. So these filter out, so it's only every second one.
okay, then I'll explain the rest of the circuit. We have blue, orange, and yellow here. They're just basically what you would find in a normal fastest possible, which is now no longer the fastest possible 3x3. Pretty self-explanatory. Then what's important is the yellow up here, which actually is part of the redstone dust update order and also part of the rest of the pistons. You can see it's connected up to these pistons because it's a micro tick. It will instantly spit out the block and extend at the same time.
Yeah, so
Um,
I think for that, I think it might be very, very nice if we remove the middle block so you can see how that works if I just go up here. And then I'll ask
yeah,
you to fire it out, the block that doesn't have the dust on it. That one, and maybe like a few more. So what you're going to see is, there, fire it out. Barely possible to see in the in normal speed, but let's slow it down. What you're gonna see is that the block instantly appears over there, and then the piston starts extending. What this means is that we can create an immovable object and also have it instantly close. Now, the reason we need an immovable object is since we use Picoticks to fire the bottom piston in right here. The problem is that if we use a Picotick for that one, we can fire again in the same game tick because a Picotick actually lets you do that. It's a very interesting quirk. And what we have to deal with then is that we don't want that one to fire again when we need to power the top one. So what we do is we make the pistons an immovable object, and that's how we achieve that.
okay. So we'll quickly speak over cyan because cyan is just pretty basic. I mean, with pretty basic, I mean how basic it goes with Picoticks.
Yeah, of
So
course.
we have like entity stuff here. It looks
Entity
broken,
stuff.
but it's actually
It's
that's
it's
how it's supposed to
actually
be.
it is actually how it's supposed to be. What actually picoticks allow you to do is if we picotick this piston while removing this redstone block, we actually are able to phase the redstone block through the piston head, and what that will do is that will actually reset the ABBA, and then that would create a picotick, an inverted picotick actually, as I'd like to call them, up here. And by using an inverted picotick into this piston right here, we're able to create a picotick output. So that's how that inverted picotick works. And then right here we got a normal microtick output.
Okay, so I think that's the basics of the 3x3. Um, yeah. Do you think this is very interesting if you want any explanation for it? Like better than this one? It's
Yeah.
basically picoticks, and we call them picoticks because it's actually way faster than a microtick. Because a microtick is like everyone knows that a block event and a block event delay chain. And the thing is with picoticks, it's not even a single block event. It is literally a dust update.
Yeah.
So
So what we managed to figure out is each block event of delay that is updated added to this actually counts for about 100 picoticks, which is why we decided to call it picoticks.
yeah. So for example, this is 2 picoticks delay. It is just like microticks. It looks instant. I think that's it, basically. I mean, it's super complicated. If you want more info, you can just message me, I guess. And yeah, that's pretty much this video. Just wanted to let you guys know that we worked on this, and it's pretty So yeah, have a nice day and bye.